Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's devotion for January 30th. Today's devotion is titled, What Would You Ask Jesus? The Bible reading is from Luke chapter 18, verses 9 to 17. To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable. Two men went up to the temple to pray. One a Pharisee, and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I get. But the tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his breast and said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. People were also bringing babies to Jesus for him to place his hands on them. When the disciples saw this, they rebuked them. But Jesus called the children to him and said, Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. Truly, I tell you, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it. If Jesus were physically seated at the table with us this morning, what would you want to ask him? Joe inquired of his children at breakfast. His boys thought of their toughest questions. They decided they wanted to ask Jesus the most difficult math problems and have him tell them how big the universe really is. Then his daughter replied, I would ask him for a hug. Can't you picture the love in Jesus' eyes for these children? I think he would be glad to comply with the requests, don't you? I imagine him bantering with the boys and opening his arms to the little girl. He might especially like the desire of Joe's daughter for a hug, which seems to demonstrate a heart of love for him and a desire for his love. Children have a sense of their dependence, and they know that Jesus is strong and loving. He said, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a little child will never enter it. Christ longs for us to recognize our need for his grace, forgiveness, and salvation. He enjoys humble hearts that long to be near him. Is there something you'd like to ask Jesus? We've certainly all had our questions. Or maybe you just want to be close to him. Run to him now for that hug and so much more that you need. What do you think you will say or do when you first see Jesus? What does it mean to have the faith of a child? Thank you for joining me for today's devotion, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.